My fiancée tried to adopt her best friend's kid as our wedding present, and then cut me out of the will. What the actual hell? Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 32, and I'm pretty sure I'm living in a nightmare. I've always felt like I have to prove myself to my family, especially compared to my perfect doctor cousin. Now I'm engaged to Brianna, and things are getting insane. She's always been the charismatic one, and I guess I got swept up in it all. But now I'm starting to think she's more manipulative than charming. My parents, as usual, are completely useless, more concerned with appearances than actual help. I'm a software engineer making good money, but they still act like I'm a disappointment. So yeah, maybe I'm a little sensitive to feeling used. But this whole situation with Brianna is next level. I feel like I'm losing my mind. So how did a wedding present turn into a custody battle and me getting completely screwed over? Let me tell you, it started with a seemingly innocent text from my sister, Sarah. Hey, just curious, did Brianna update her will recently? Seemed random, right? I brushed it off at first. But then I remembered something Brianna had muttered about estate planning a few weeks back, dismissing it as adulting stuff. My stomach did a weird flip. Something felt off. I logged into our joint banking portal. Yes, I know, stupid, but we were getting married. And that's when I saw it. A recent transaction to some law firm I'd never heard of. Panic clawed at my throat. I called the firm, pretending to be Brianna's assistant needing a file. The receptionist, bless her clueless heart, confirmed the will update. And then she said it. Oh yes, Ms. Miller specifically instructed us to name Leo as her primary beneficiary. Leo, Chloe's 4-year-old son. The kid Brianna was trying to adopt. As a wedding present, to me. My vision went blurry. I actually had to sit down. I felt like I was going to throw up. My entire life was about to be turned upside down and I was completely blindsided. I called Sarah back, my voice shaking so badly I could barely speak. She changed the will. Leo STHE beneficiary, SHE's cutting me out. Sarah, ever the calm one, told me to breathe, to document everything. But inside my head was screaming. How could SHE? I confronted Brianna that night. She was all smiles, oblivious to the bomb I was about to drop. Hey babe, she chirped, Chloe and Leo are coming over for dinner tomorrow. Isn't that great? Great, great. I just stared at her, this wave of nausea washing over me. Brianna, I managed to choke out. Why is Leo the primary beneficiary in your will? The smile vanished, her face hardened. Oh, so you've been snooping, she said, her voice dripping with ice. It's just a formality, Ethan, don't be so dramatic. Formality. This woman was trying to steal my life, and she's calling me dramatic. I saw red. A formality? You're adopting a child without my consent and making him your heir. What the hell is wrong with you? She just laughed. You're being ridiculous. You're just scared of commitment. You're not ready to be a father. And then she dropped the real bomb. Besides, Chloe and I have already started the adoption paperwork. Already started the paperwork without me, without even discussing it. I felt like I was in some twisted alternate reality. This wasn't the woman I loved. This was a monster. My hands were shaking. My chest felt tight. I couldn't breathe. You did what? I roared. The volume of my own voice shocked me. She just smirked. Don't be such a baby, Ethan. It's all going to work out perfectly, you'll see. Perfectly for WHO, Brianna. For you, then my parents walked in. Of course, perfect timing. Brianna, ever the actress, immediately launched into this fake-ass sob story about how I was being difficult about adopting Leo. He just doesn't understand how important this is to me, she wailed, clutching her chest like I'd stabbed her. My mother, predictably, sided with Brianna. Ethan, dear, you're being unreasonable. Think of poor Chloe. And Leo needs a stable home. You're being selfish. Selfish? I wanted to scream. This woman was trying to steal my life, my future, and I'm the selfish one. My father, the king of emotional detachment, just shrugged. Just do what Brianna wants, son. It'll be easier for everyone. Easier for everyone, except me. I'm being erased from my own life, and they're worried about it being easier. I looked from my parents to Brianna, her crocodile tears flowing freely. And in that moment it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a disagreement about adopting a child. This was a full-blown, orchestrated attack. They were ganging up on me, gaslighting me, trying to make me question my own sanity. You're all insane, I whispered, the words barely escaping my lips. I felt this cold dread creep up my spine. I backed away slowly, shaking my head. I need to get out of here, my mother tusked. Ethan, don't be childish, we're trying to have a family discussion. This, I said, pointing at them, is not a family, this is a circus. And then I ran. I literally ran out of the house, got in my car and drove. I didn't know where I was going. I just needed to escape. I'm sitting in my car now, parked in some random parking lot, shaking and trying to catch my breath. I feel like I'm losing my mind. What the actual hell just happened? Someone please tell me this isn't real life. A week later, and things have gone from batshit crazy to nuclear. I'm seriously considering changing my name and moving to a remote island with no internet access. So after my dramatic exit from the family discussion, I crashed at Sarah's place. She was amazing, listened to my rant, validated my feelings, and basically kept me from having a complete meltdown. She's the only sane one in this whole damn family. We talked strategy, documented everything, and I finally started to feel like I was regaining some control. Then came the text messages. From aunts, uncles, cousins I haven't spoken to in years, all singing the same damn song. Brianna is such a sweet girl, why are you being so difficult? Think of poor Leo, he needs a stable home. You're throwing away a good thing, Ethan. Guilt, trip, WAS, epic. Like I'm the villain for not wanting to be financially and emotionally eviscerated by my manipulative fiancé. Are you kidding me? Then my mother called. Ethan, she said, her voice dripping with disappointment, Brianna is heartbroken. You're embarrassing the family. We're hosting a dinner party next week and we expect you to be there to apologize. Apologize? For what? For not wanting to be a pawn in her twisted game. I actually laughed, I couldn't help it. Apologize? I repeated, incredulous. Mom, are you delusional? She's trying to steal my life. She just sighed like I was being unreasonable. Ethan, you're overreacting, just be there, it's important for appearances. Appearances. There's that word again. My family cares more about what their friends think than about their own son's well-being. I hung up. I couldn't even deal. But the cherry on top of this shit Sunday, this morning I woke up to find my car vandalized, keyed, spray painted with the words deadbeat dad. Deadbeat dad, I haven't even met this kid and I'm already being labeled a deadbeat. I'm not even a dad. I'm starting to think Brianna has lost her damn mind. This is some next level crazy. I'm exhausted. I'm barely functioning at work. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I feel like I'm constantly looking over my shoulder. This isn't just about the wedding anymore. This is about my life. I need to fight back. I need to win. This has gone too far. I'm not going down without a fight. I'm going to expose Brianna for the manipulative monster she is, and I'm going to get my life back. Wish me luck, Reddit. I have a feeling I'm going to need it. Okay, so after I ran out of the house, practically hyperventilating, I ended up at my sister Sarah's. She's a therapist, thank God, and probably the only person in my family who isn't completely insane. At first, I just kind of mumbled, couldn't even get the words out. It was like trying to explain a fever dream. Brianna, adoption, Leo, will, beneficiary, me out. Total word salad. Sarah, bless her, just calmly handed me a glass of wine and said, Ethan, breathe. Start from the beginning, slowly. So I did. I told her about the wedding present adoption idea, Brianna's gaslighting, the escalating tension, the weird secrecy, and finally, the will. The whole time, her eyes just kept getting wider and wider. When I finished, she was speechless for a good minute. Then she just said, holy shit, Ethan, this is textbook manipulation. Hearing her say that, hearing someone else acknowledge that I wasn't crazy, that this was as messed up as it felt, it was like a pressure valve releasing in my chest. I started crying, ugly crying, the kind where you can't even catch your breath. Sarah hugged me and said something that completely changed my perspective. Ethan, she said, Brianna isn't just trying to adopt Leo, she's trying to adopt you into her narrative. She's using this whole situation to control you, to test your loyalty, to see how far she can push you before you break. And honey, you're breaking. It clicked. All the times I felt pressured, manipulated like I was walking on eggshells, it all made sense. This wasn't about Chloe or even Leo. This was about Brianna's need for control, her own insecurities about motherhood projected onto me. I was just a pawn in her game. Sarah then said, and your parents, they're enabling her. They're more concerned with appearances than your well-being. They've always put pressure on you to prove yourself, and now they're using this to further that narrative. Just do what Brianna wants, it'll be easier. Easier for them, not for you. It was like a light bulb went off. For the first time, I saw the whole situation clearly. I wasn't crazy, I wasn't selfish. I was being manipulated, and I was done. Done with Brianna, done with the guilt trips, done with being the family's scapegoat. Sarah's words were like a lifeline. They gave me the strength to fight back. I finally felt like I could breathe again. It was time to take back my life. Okay, so I told you guys about the crazy adoption plan, the will change, the vandalism, the family guilt trip. It was a lot. I thought that was the peak of insane. I was wrong. I had started seeing a therapist, someone Sarah recommended. It was helping, slowly. I was starting to feel less like a victim and more like, well, a person again. I even started packing a go bag, just in case I needed to make a quick escape. Yeah, I know, dramatic, but I was seriously considering disappearing off the grid. Then came the family dinner. The one where I was supposed to apologize to Brianna. I went, I don't know why. Maybe some small part of me still hoped for a rational explanation. Ha, joke S on me. The dinner was a nightmare. Brianna, surrounded by my entire extended family, held court. She spun this elaborate tale of my emotional instability and unwillingness to commit. She painted herself as the saint, selflessly taking in a child in need, while I was the heartless monster standing in her way. My family, predictably, ate it up. They nodded sympathetically, murmured words of support, and glared at me like I was the devil incarnate. My Aunt Carol even patted Brianna's hand and said, "You're such an angel, dear. Don't worry, we all see what's really going on here." I wanted to scream. Then my father cleared his throat. "Ethan," he said, in that tone that always made my stomach clench, "we've decided it's best for everyone if you step aside." Step aside, like I was some inconvenient obstacle to their perfect little plan. My blood ran cold. "Step aside," I repeated, my voice barely a whisper. "What does that even mean?" Brianna, with a sickeningly sweet smile, piped up, "It means, sweetie, that we're moving forward with the adoption, with or without your consent." And then she said it. The words that shattered everything. "Chloe and I have decided that since you're clearly not ready for this level of commitment, it's best if I just become Leo's surrogate mother. Chloe will still be involved, of course, but legally, Leo will be mine." Surrogate mother. She was going to have Chloe's baby and pretend it was hers, with my money. While I was still technically her fiance, I stared at her, my mouth agape. The room started to spin. This wasn't just manipulation, this was insanity. My mother, bless her clueless heart, actually clapped. "Oh, Brianna, that's wonderful, you're so brave, brave." This woman was a sociopath, that was it. The final straw. The moment everything changed. Something inside me snapped. I felt this surge of anger, this white-hot rage I'd never experienced before. It was like a switch flipped in my brain. The fear, the self-doubt, the guilt, it all vanished. I was done. Done. I stood up, my chair scraping against the floor, the sound echoing in the stunned silence. I looked at Brianna, at my family, their faces a mixture of shock and confusion. "You," I said, my voice shaking with fury, "are a monster." I turned to my parents. "And you," I continued, my voice rising, "are delusional enablers." I looked back at Brianna. "I'm done, the wedding is off, I'm getting a lawyer and I'm taking you down." And then I walked out. I didn't look back, I didn't slam the door, I just walked away. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. Alright, Reddit, buckle up, because this is where shit gets real. After that family dinner from hell, I knew I couldn't play nice anymore. This wasn't about saving the relationship, it was about survival. Brianna had gone full on nuclear and I needed a DEFCON 1 response. First, I contacted Sarah. "She's going full surrogate," I told her, my voice shaking. "Chloe's kid, my money, my life gone." Sarah, ever the voice of reason, said, "Okay, deep breaths, we need a plan, a good one." And we made one. Phase 1, document everything. I started keeping a detailed journal of every interaction, every text, every email. I even started recording phone calls with my state's two-party consent, of course. Anything that could prove Brianna's manipulation and lies. I dug through our joint bank accounts, looking for anything suspicious. Turns out, adulting stuff also included a hefty down payment on a house. In her name only, jackpot. Not really, but you know what I mean. Phase 2, lawyer UP. Sarah connected me with a shark of a family lawyer. This guy had seen it all, and he wasn't intimidated by Brianna's crocodile tears or my family's appearances bullshit. He told me straight up, "This is going to be a fight, Ethan, but we can win this." Hearing that, hearing someone believe me, it was like a shot of adrenaline. Phase 3, gather the troops. I confided in a few close friends, the ones I knew I could trust. They were shocked, disgusted, and 100% on my side. Having their support was huge. It reminded me that I wasn't alone in this, that I wasn't crazy. Phase 4, mental fortification. This was the hardest part. I was a mess. Anxiety, insomnia, barely eating. Therapy helped, but I also started working out, meditating, anything to clear my head and build up my strength. I knew the confrontation was coming and I needed to be ready. I needed to be strong. Phase 5, the exit strategy. This was Sarah's idea. You can't stay in that house, Ethan, she said. It's a toxic environment. You need to get out. So I started discreetly moving my most important belongings to Sarah's. Clothes, documents, sentimental stuff. I even packed a go bag with essentials just in case. I felt like a spy in my own life, but it was necessary. Phase 6, the confrontation plan. This wasn't going to be some quiet, behind closed doors conversation. Oh no, this was going to be public. Brianna wanted to play games? Fine, we'd play. I chose the location, our engagement party. A trendy rooftop bar overlooking the city. All our friends and family would be there, the perfect stage. I rehearsed what I was going to say, over and over. I needed to be calm, collected, and in control. No more yelling, no more pleading, just cold, hard facts. I was going to expose Brianna's lies and manipulation for everyone to see. I was terrified, but I was also determined. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about taking back my life, my dignity, my future. This was about showing Brianna, my family, and everyone else that I wasn't going to be a victim. I was going to be a survivor. Game on, Brianna, game fucking on. Okay, Reddit, here it is. The moment of truth. The rooftop bar was packed. Fairy lights twinkled, a DJ spun chillwave, and everyone was mingling, oblivious to the bomb I was about to drop. Brianna, radiating fake sunshine, flitted around like the social butterfly she was, basking in the congratulations. She even had Leo there, dressed in a tiny tuxedo, parading him around like a prop. My stomach churned. I took a deep breath, grabbed the mic, and tapped it lightly. The chatter died down. Brianna, beaming, turned to face me, clearly expecting some cheesy declaration of love. Boy, was she in for a surprise. Hi everyone, I started, my voice surprisingly steady. I have an announcement to make. I looked directly at Brianna, my gaze unwavering. The wedding is off. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Brianna's smile froze, her eyes widening in disbelief. Ethan, what are you doing? She hissed, her voice laced with panic. I ignored her and continued, my voice growing stronger. There have been some irreconcilable differences that have come to light recently. I paused, letting the words hang in the air. Differences that involve manipulation, deceit, and a complete disregard for my rights and feelings. Brianna's face went white. He's lying, she shrieked, turning to the crowd. He's just scared of commitment. He doesn't want to be a father. I held up a hand, silencing her. Scared of commitment. I repeated, my voice dripping with sarcasm. Let's talk about commitment, Brianna. Let's talk about how you secretly started adoption proceedings for Leo without my consent. Let's talk about how you changed your will to make him your sole beneficiary, effectively cutting me out of my own life. The murmurs in the crowd intensified. People exchanged shocked glances. Brianna's eyes darted around the room, her composure cracking. I pulled out a folder containing copies of the will, the adoption paperwork, and the bank statements showing the down payment on the house in her name. I held them up for everyone to see. This, I said, my voice ringing with authority, is proof. Proof that Brianna wasn't planning a future with me. She was planning a future without me. A future built on lies and deception. Brianna stammered, trying to defend herself, but the words caught in her throat. The crowd was silent, hanging on my every word. This was the turning point. The power dynamic had shifted. I wasn't the victim anymore, I was in control. And the surrogate plan, I continued, my voice rising. You were going to have Chloe's baby and pretend it was yours with MY money, while we were still engaged. I shook my head in disbelief. You're not just manipulative, Brianna, you're delusional. That was it. Brianna completely lost it. She launched into a full-blown meltdown, screaming, crying, accusing me of ruining her life. It was a pathetic display and, frankly, a little satisfying to watch. My family, their faces a mixture of horror and embarrassment, tried to intervene, but it was too late. The damage was done. I looked at the crowd, at the shocked faces of my friends and family. I saw the realization dawning on them, the understanding that I hadn't been exaggerating, that I had been telling the truth all along. And in that moment, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't felt in months. I had exposed Brianna's lies. I had reclaimed my life. I had won. I dropped the mic and walked away, leaving Brianna and my family to deal with the fallout. I didn't look back, I was finally free. Update, holy crap Reddit, I didn't expect this to blow up like this. Thanks for all the support, it means more than you know. Things are still messy, the legal stuff is ongoing, but I'm feeling stronger every day. And guess what? Chloe and I are actually becoming friends. She had no idea about the surrogate plan. Brianna had been lying to her too. We're supporting each other through this mess. And Leo, he's an awesome kid. I'm not his dad, but I'm happy to be a positive male role model in his life. Life is weird, Reddit. But sometimes, even out of the darkest chaos, something good can emerge. Thanks again for everything. You guys are the best. It's been a few months since the rooftop showdown, and wow, what a roller coaster. The immediate aftermath was chaos. Brianna went full scorched earth, trying to smear my name to anyone who would listen. Luckily, most of our mutual friends saw through her bullshit, especially after the evidence came out. The legal battle was a nightmare, protracted, expensive, and emotionally draining. But in the end, I came out on top. No surrogacy, no adoption, no more BRIANNA. The fallout with my family was complicated. My parents still can't quite admit they were wrong, but there's a fragile truce. Sarah, as always, was my rock. She helped me through the darkest days, and I'll be forever grateful. We're solid. Some extended family members still give me the side eye, but honestly, I don't give a damn. I've learned who my real support system is, and that's what matters. There have been some unexpected positive outcomes. Chloe and I have become close. She had no idea about the surrogate plan. Brianna had been lying to her too. We've bonded over shared trauma and are supporting each other through this mess. And Leo, he's an amazing kid. I'm not his dad, not even close, but I've become something of a mentor to him, taking him to the park, helping him with his homework. It's a weird, unexpected silver lining to this whole ordeal. The biggest change has been in me. I'm not the same person I was a few months ago. I'm stronger. I'm more assertive. I'm no longer afraid to set boundaries. Therapy has been huge. I'm finally learning to value myself, to prioritize my own needs, to recognize and avoid toxic relationships. I might be single, broke from legal fees, and emotionally exhausted, but I'm free. And that, Reddit, is priceless. This whole experience has been a brutal lesson in trust, manipulation, and the importance of self-worth. It's made me realize how easily we can get caught up in other people's narratives, how desperate we can be for validation, even at the expense of our own well-being. I'm still healing, still processing, but I'm finally moving forward. Has anyone else out there experienced something similar? Any advice on navigating the aftermath of a toxic relationship and rebuilding your life? Let me know. I could use the wisdom of the Reddit hive mind right now.